Yes, welcome to the Becoming Conversations, where we flash a light onto the road that each one of us is taking. Whether you want it or not, we all long for this. We all want to grow. We all want to get to a place where it's better. We dream of that place, but we know where we are. And today, I want us to go back to ground zero. I want us to go back to the day one, because there are so many of us that are day ones that every time we are planning to do something, every time we're planning to take a step, every time we're planning to redeem ourselves, every time we're planning to walk towards the direction of our dreams, and yet we are doing nothing about it. So I hope I am coming back for you, and I will keep coming back for you. Those of you that are already moving, kudos to you. And I know there's so many hurdles, especially when your intention, when your mind is fixed to walking that journey, there will always be hurdles. Just like I say, disruption follows intention. Yeah, whenever you have an intent to grow, whenever you have an intent to make more money, whenever you have an intent, the moment you make up your mind, and it's not just about making up your mind to sit and be where you are and stay stuck, because none of us actually makes our mind to stay stuck, even when the actions that we do actually keep us stuck. So many of us, we keep planning and overthinking and, getting stuck all of a sudden, stay in the rut all of a sudden. And I mean, you clock 30, you're still in the same place. You clock 40, you're still in the same place. You clock 50, you're still in the same place. You have no one to blame but you. All right. But the moment you have the intent to start, and guess what? You take the step to actually start and say, you know what? I will get out of my comfort zone. I will stop the costing, and I will get into the challenge zone. I will start to ask myself, what haven't I done? What am I supposed to do? What are other people doing? And I'm not just going to think about it. I am actually going to do it. Now, that's a whole different world. The moment you start on that trajectory, let me tell you, the hurdles are going to come. It's not going to be on a silver platter. It's not going to be easy. But just like you had the intent, and you decided that, you know what, no one is stopping me. I'm not standing in my own way. I'm not self-sabotaging. I'm not procrastinating on this decision. I am actually going to activate it. I'm going to execute it. I am going to do something. Look for a job. I am actually going to learn a skill. I am actually going to chop my bills and cut my budgets. I am actually going to stop my spending. I am actually going, whatever it is that you need to do, the moment you start doing it, disruptions, distractions, so many things are going to come. And that is why on the journey of becoming, we just don't talk about the glittering dreams that you want to get to, the visions that you want to get to. We still talk about the hardness of the journey. We still talk about the death of self-belief. We talk about the doubts that are going to come, that are going to bombard you. We talk about the stagnation that is going to happen somewhere, the plateauing seasons. We talk about all those things. But for today, I am coming back to the day ones. I am coming back to the people that have been overthinking, that have not taken a step, and you want to take a step. I have come back for you. All right. So if you are that person, I need you to get a pen and a paper, and I need you to sit with me through this session so that we can be able to write down certain things and be able to start this journey. And this that we are talking about is called Own Your Starting Point. Day one, own your starting point in the journey of becoming. And in everything that we're going to do, organization is the seedbed for growth. The moment you say, okay, now I am at ground zero, I am at day one, and this is what I want to commit to do, before the year ends, or on the 31st of this year, it doesn't matter at what point you are watching me. It doesn't matter at what point you're watching this session. You still, even if it is 2 days too, even if it is 3 days too. I know some of you are watching this and it is 5 months too, or 4 months too. You still have a chance to redeem yourself. You still have a chance to make different decisions, and not just stay in the valley of decision making, but to execute and put into practice the things that you actually need to put into practice. So let's get clear about your day one. All right. Number one, is pray. I would love you to actually pray. And the prayer that I would want you to pray is to ask God to shine a light on your true condition. Because I don't want you to hide. I don't want you to hide. I don't want you to feel like, you know what, I think I'm a bit better. Because some of us, we lie to ourselves. You know, I'm not as bad as other people. You know, I think I am somewhere. I think I am somewhere. And yes, that wrapping our head or thinking or lying to our minds that we are somewhere, we actually stop putting in the energy. We stop putting in the effort. We don't put in as much effort. Or we feel ashamed of doing certain things because we have lied to ourselves and we have lied to other people. How we are a bit better. There are so many people, and I will say this, and I know some of you will hate me for it, but there are so many of you that have nothing to your name. You have nothing to your name. But guess what? You have a name that is bigger. People know you out there. Or people know the version of you 5 years ago or 3 years ago. Maybe you've ever had some money. Maybe you've ever been well off at some point. But you are at zero, but no one knows that you are at zero. And maybe you're not at zero, but you are going at a very fast rate. And maybe some of you, you've ever had maybe on your account 100 millions or even more. You've held some money. You had some money to your name, and all of a sudden you have come down. You are on your last 5 millions or your last 2 millions or 3 millions, but it is getting depleted so fast that you cannot catch yourself in the moment because you still have to survive. You still have to eat. You still have medical bills. Even if you cut budgets for everything else and you put it on a standstill and stop spending money, you still have a lot of leakages for that money. And guess what? A time is going to come when you have zero. Some of you, you are at the point of zero, but no one knows. Because you can still get some food. Because maybe you still have a shelter over your head. But you are going down. So I want us to, you are in a business. Yes, the shop is full. But on debt. On debt. 5 years ago, you had a full shop. You had your stores full and you still had so much money on your account and everyone knew that things were good. And now you still want to maintain the same level. You are borrowing money left, right, and center. You're taking loans left, right, and center. And some people still look at you with that same eye of you're still at the same level you were at 5 years ago or 3 years ago. And so even when they ask for help, you cannot tell them that, you know what, the situation is not good. Why? You still want to maintain. You still want to maintain the appearance, it's not even the appearance, but the illusion of you still have money or you're still okay. People visit you and all of a sudden you panic and you want to buy, things so that people do not say, oh, so and so ya guam. Now, I want us to get out of that immaturity. All that immaturity. You are not maintaining face for anyone. You are not maintaining. I'm not telling you to go and tell everyone how broke you are, how poor you are. I'm not telling you to go on the mountaintop and proclaiming it. But I am telling you to admit and accept that you are at the rock bottom. No hiding. Truth will set you free. Not the truth you deny, not the truth you hide, not the truth you lie to yourself about, the truth you admit and accept that I am at ground zero, that I am at the rock bottom. And if I don't do something, I don't think I will survive for long. If I don't do something, I don't think I will get out of here. When David said in the Psalms and said that I cried out unto you and you heard my cry. You got me out of the pit that was filled with mud. By the time someone is in the pit that is filled with mud, and he said that you lifted me up and put me on a solid ground. You established my feet on a solid ground. That means at some point in his life, he accepted that, yes, I'm in a pit. I am not even at a leveled ground. Some of us are not even at day one. We are in minus days. We are in pits that are filled with mud, that are filled with tears, that are filled with regrets, that are filled with, you don't even know how to say it. But you need God to be able to pick you up. And he does not pick up people that are comfortable and lying to themselves, lying to everyone that is around. No, he picks up people that have admitted, because by the time you cry out unto God and say, save me, by the time you become the Bartimaeus on the roadside and say, Son of God, save me, it's because you are tired. You have been blind and you are not pretending to see. You're not saying, wow, this city is beautiful, while you are blind. You have admitted that I am blind. I don't know whether it was my mother's iniquity, whether it was my father's iniquity, whether it was anyone. I don't know where this came from, but Son of David, save me. Now, that is a person that has admitted, that is not hiding, that is not lying to themselves, that is facing the truth. I need you to face the truth, and I need you to sit in that painful truth. The painful truth of you are broke. The painful truth is that you are not where people imagine or think you are. You are in the pit. So when you call for help, when you go to the secret place, when you go to a place of prayer, when you go to a place and say, God, my soul is sunken, my soul is down. Okay? And that is a place where you ask God to shine a light on your true condition, on your true condition. Number 2. Stop telling sugar-coated stories about where you are. Stop telling sugar-coated stories about where you are. Let me tell you, in this world, we have people, I think I was reading some days back, I was reading about the issue of lying. There are people who are perpetual liars, okay? And we have people that we even call psychopaths. I mean, people who are perpetual liars, or who are even getting into the psychopath kind of path, when they lie, they don't just lie to others, they lie to themselves. So when they sugarcoat, they don't just sugarcoat for other people, they sugarcoat for themselves. So instead of working hard, instead of putting in the effort, instead of saying, you know what, I better get up on my feet and do something different, you realize that they get weak because they lied to themselves. So they behave like it's an okay situation. They behave like, I mean, they are still okay. They behave, so stop sugarcoating. Stop sugarcoating. I'm not telling you, go and broadcast it everywhere. No. But to yourself, I need you to sit down and write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to yourself, a vivid letter to yourself, a letter that has no lie in it, that is completely honest, that you look at yourself in the mirror and know that, by the way, things are bad. Things are not as good as you think, as you lied to yourself. Okay? And this is not just about finances. This is about friendships. This is about relationships. This is about marriage. This is about whatever it is, the dream that you have, the life that you want. By the time you lie, it's because there is a dream life that you want and you have not attained it, or you have not gotten there, or people think you are there but you are not yet there. That is why people lie. So that means you actually have a vision. That means you have a dream. That means you have a life that you want, that you imagine, that you would love to work towards. So now when you stop sugarcoating, that is when you will rise up, go and look for a job. When you stop sugarcoating, That is when you'll be like, you know what, I can do this business. I don't need, whenever, and I tell people, I can't do that business. I can't do that business. If that is the business that is going to get me off the ground, I'm actually going to do it. If it means me looking for a job, if it means me washing people's clothes, if it means me cooking for people, if it means whatever it is, I am going to go and I will ask for the job and I will do what I need to do. I will learn that skill. I will invest in that skill, whatever it is that I need to do. Instead of saying that, oh, you know what, I am okay. I am okay where I am. And yet you're gnashing. Stop sugarcoating. Okay? Whatever it is, stop sugarcoating, because when you sugarcoat stories, you don't just sugarcoat them for others. You sugarcoat them for you. Remember, if you're just joining us, you're not too late. I'm coming back for the day ones. I'm coming back for those that are in minus, in negatives. They didn't know they were in negatives. They were lying to themselves. Or those that have actually admitted that, by the way, now I know I am in negatives. I'm not even at the leveled ground. I'm not even on ground one. No, I am in negatives. So we are growing together. Number 3. Write down your real state in faith, in finances, in family, in health, in purpose, whatever it is, your state right now or your status right now. Write it down and say that when it comes to finances, I am actually at 0. When it comes to family, you gauge yourself. You know, we all know when things are bad, when things are not good, you actually know. And give yourself a mark. This is an exercise I do with the people that I take through mentorship, or I even meet one-on-one, and they want to take a growth journey. This is an exercise that we actually do, that you write them, and out of 10, you even give yourself and say, okay, out of 10, I am at 0. Out of 10, I am at 3. Out of 10, I am at 5. Whatever it is. In your purpose, have you discovered what your purpose is? Or you're just thinking it's a waste of time. When you hear people talk about purpose, that is too much cliche. Right now, you do not have the luxury to even say that is a cliche. No. If you are on ground 0, if you are at the starting point, that is a point where you do not judge anyone. That is a point where you shut up. That is the point, and not in a bad way. That is a point where you keep quiet. That is a point where you mind your business, drink your water, fall on your knees and pray. That is a point of admitting that this is where I am and this is where I want to be. And in all meekness and humbleness, I want to learn a few things that can be able to bridge this gap between where I am and where I want to go. Where are you in your marriage? Are you in negatives? Are you at 0? Where are you? Are you living with a manipulative person? Are you living with a total liar, typical liar? Are you living with a one that batters you, that beats you? Are you living, as in, where exactly are you? Are you able to pay your children's school fees? Yeah? Are you able to put food on your plate? Are you able to treat yourself? I told you, I shared a story at some point where I found a lady at the hospital. Now, this, I told you of a lady that actually looked like they didn't have anything. Yeah? But there is a lady that actually looked like they had their life together. And this lady had a child. She was putting on well. She was putting, like, nice clothes. She had a perfume on her. Yeah? But she was right in front of me, and I was behind her. And so, while she was told that this is the bill for the kind of medicine you're requesting for, the child has high temperatures and she needs medicine and she does not have enough money. She did not have enough money. Lucky enough, she was close to me. And so when they told her the bill, and she broke down, and she was like, I actually don't have money. I don't have that kind of money. This is the kind of money that I have. And I heard her, and she was crying. Her tears were flowing. She was not even making noise, but tears were flowing down her cheeks. She was holding a child that had high temperatures. And what she needed was even just first aid. Get some Calpol or get some Panadol, give to the child, and let's figure out what next. She didn't have even enough money to buy Calpol. And I know that this is happening to so many people. You've ever had a good life? And maybe you had people remain with perfume. You cannot judge people and say she's putting on nice clothes and she has perfume and her hair looks nice. People are going through a lot. So I just had to jump in. and ask the person that was prescribing, what does this child need? She was nearly losing her life. And I told her, you know what, before we even go through the billing and go through, can I grab a Calpol? Let's give this child something as we figure out the rest of the medicine. Definitely, I had to buy all the medicine that she needed. I had to give her some extra money because she looked like she was hungry. She had not fed. The child looked hungry. Definitely, I don't know what she used the money for, but if she was really a good mother, she would have known better to buy some food for herself and her child and maybe give her, if the money that I gave them was enough to actually last them maybe a week or so. I took her number just to follow up and find out what was happening. People are going through a lot. And when some people reach rock bottoms, their mindset switches off. Their thinking switches off. As I'm speaking about this, I feel tears on my heart because there are so many people that are in the position that I am talking about. Yes, you're not living in a rented house, but you are gnashing. You built your own house, yes, but you lack something to eat. You even don't have food to feed your children. You're a man, you had a job, but maybe you ran out of a job and your mind switched off because your job was everything. Some people go through things, your job was everything, it was your provision, it was everything, and when it was cut off, and maybe cut off in a condition that was not as good, your mind switched off. You went into stress and you got depressed and no one got you out of there. No one helped you get out of there. Or you didn't even seek the help. You just switched off. There are so many of us, I'm talking to you and you switched off. You are in negatives, but you switched off. So you don't feel any ounce of energy to do anything for yourself, to wake up, to organize the room where you are, to even bathe, to even make that call, you have skills, but you're sleeping on your skills. Why? Because the world became dark. It became dark. But that is where exactly we are starting. By you not sugarcoating the situation and saying and admitting, I am jobless and I have been jobless for the past 6 months, for the past 1 year. But am I going to remain jobless for the rest of my life? I will get up. I will get up. At least I can find soap to wash my clothes. At least I can iron my clothes. At least I can go somewhere, and if I can knock enough offices and say, I just don't mind. Give me somewhere to start. I will start there. I will sweep if I must. I will wash the toilets if I must. I will organize whatever it is. I will do something, but at least let me have food on my plate and my children. It takes a decision. It takes a decision. You're not going to switch off forever. Otherwise, you're not the only one losing it. While you're losing it, your children are losing it. While you're losing it, your wife is losing it. If you're a woman, while you're losing it, your children are losing it. Your family is actually losing it and falling apart. And you don't want that to happen. Number 4, replacing I am failing with I am repositioning myself. I am repositioning. The moment you speak, the words that we speak to our brain are so important, and they are so powerful. So if you speak negativity, your brain takes it when you say, I am dead. I mean, there's nothing good that will ever come out of me. This is it. I think this is the end of the road for me. But the person that is saying it's the end of the road for you, you are 30. Some of you are barely 30. You are 25 and you feel it's the end of the road for you. No, we have been there. The reason as to why I'm saying this is I have been at the rock bottom. I know what the rock bottom looks like. I know what hopelessness looks like. I know what giving up sounds like. I know it. And I don't want to stay in that place. I want you to reposition yourself. And how you reposition yourself, you start with self-talk. Because that is the only thing that is going to encourage you. Maybe at a point where even data is nothing that you don't have. There are people that are at a point where they have data, they have food, they have everything. Definitely they're not going to have it for the rest of their lives, but at least they have a starting point. And then there are those that don't have any starting point. Now, if you don't have any starting point, just know you are the starting point. You are your own capital. Your mindset is the first capital that you have. If you can be able to realign it and say, I'm repositioning myself for the dreams that I have, for the visions that I have, and I understand that Rome was not built in one day, that there is a first step that everyone takes, and if that first step is to make that call, if that first step is to look for a job, if that first step is to invest in myself, whatever it is, at whatever level you are, you know what first step you actually ought to take. If the first step is just to open your windows and have fresh air come into your house, clean yourself, get your Bible, read a verse, pray to God, and pray for direction, pray for discernment, get out of your house and make a call to that friend, make a call to that auntie, whatever it is, there has to be a beginning point. But you have to be able to speak to your brain and tell it you are repositioning yourself to run towards the direction of your dream. Because so many of us, when we fail far away from our dreams. We fell far away from the road. Yeah? And now we have to realign and reposition ourselves. So if you need to reposition yourself. Do not even be ashamed about it. Do not be ashamed of starting again. Do not be ashamed of starting from scratch. Do not be ashamed. Get it from me. Give yourself the permission to start. Give yourself the permission to start. And you'll be so glad. 2 months from now, you'll be so glad you started. 5 months from now, 1 year from now, when you give yourself a chance, sometimes you don't know where anything is going to lead. But when there is an open door and you try to get into it, you will never know how many other open doors are going to open. There's so many people that have they have bet on themselves. I have one such a person that gave a testimony while we were doing accelerated mentorship, actually during the graduation, the last graduation. And so she mentioned and said that, you know what, one day they were coming from church with a friend and they were in their car. The friend was driving, and so she was in a friend's car. They had gone to church, and so they had, I think the message had, they preached something that had stirred them up to want to be better, yeah? And so while they were in their car, they looked around and they were like, you know what? The person that is coming, that is doing well, that we know for sure that is doing well in this, that we want to do, the kind of life, what we want to pivot in, what we want to change into, what we want to do, is Marjorie. So they pinpointed her. Marjorie is one of those people that is one of the people that I have mentored, one of the people that is doing so well for herself in this country. And so they say, but how did Marjorie get there? How did she get there? Do you see a person asking themselves? Do you see a person at a starting point? Do you see a person at the crossroad? They are in their car. It's night. They are from church. And they are saying, okay, if we want to be like Marjorie, maybe we can call Marjorie and ask her, how did she get to where she is? And so that very night, they got a phone and called Marjorie. And Marjorie told them, in this country, if you want to become anything like me, or even more than me, or even better than me, there is only one person. She gave me wholesome mentorship, and I'm still running on that mentorship. So, call Bahati. So, that very night, they sent me a message. So, there are two friends, two girls, friends. And they are just at the crossroads, and they're saying, you know what? We don't want to, we want a different life. We want a different kind of life. So they call Marjorie. Marjorie tells them about Bahati. And so they send me a message. I think they called my number, and my number was off. Because by then I was out of the country. I was in the US. And so they send me a message. So when they send me a message, it's in the night. But remember, because of the time zones, for me, the other side, it was in the morning. So I get the message. And immediately I get the message. They're like, okay, this is so-and-so. And I've been referred to you by Marjorie. And so she told me you're the one who mentored her. And so we would love the same kind of mentorship. I'm actually with my friend, and we would love the same kind of mentorship. What does it take? And so I send them the necessity. I send them the link. I send them the details of the program. And so she tells me the truth. She tells me, you know what? I don't have money right now, but can I pay 200, I think she told me 200,000. Yeah, she told me 200,000. Now, that was more like, what we say, it's not even 10% of the whole amount. Yeah, it's not even 5% of the whole amount. That means like the money that she had was really less, really less. And so she told me that, you know what, my friend and I want to enroll for this program, but we don't actually have money right now. Can we be able to pay? Can I pay? I think it was either 100 or 200. So she sent the money. She was like, let me send tomorrow. I will send 200,000 for my friend and I, and then we start the program. So I was like, you sound like you really, really want this, badly want this. So I'm going to let you start. Yeah, you can pay as you go on. And guess what? They got onto the program. By the time they got onto the program, I used to do my live sessions. Yeah, my live sessions all the way in Arizona, California, Texas, like whichever state I would go to, I would just, readjust my my time settings and just make sure that I am on the live calls together with them. And when they got in, they were on fire. They were on fire. They were like, I think they were like, you know what? But whatever you give us is what we are. If Marjorie told us you are the person that made her who she is, whatever you give us. So when I gave them with the links and the videos and all the materials and the resources, what they did is, I think they had overnights of just consuming the material. And so when I said the blueprint is, this is what we do, and this is what we do next, and this is what we do, when they got the blueprint, I think they were like, you know what? Let's run with this. Before you know it, they are creating content. Before you know it, they went for makeup sessions. They went and took video and took pictures. Mind you, there are people that join mentorship, that sign up for mentorship. They pay their money. Actually, sometimes they pay the whole lump sum of the money. And I tell them to take studio pictures, and they don't take studio pictures. They procrastinate on that. And they were hungry. They were hungry. They took the studio pictures. They went and started shooting videos with their phones, and putting on makeup and looking like they had done this for quite some time. Because, we went through the criteria. I had one individual sessions with them, and I was like, okay, this is what you're going to do. After this is what you're going to do. And then after this is what you're going to do. And they took my word for, like, my word was, they were like, I think whatever she says is what we're going to do. And I will tell you, the kind of doors that opened. At the graduation, she didn't say, actually, this is what she told us, that I'm not here to tell you, oh, Madam Bahati has been so good. Dr. Bahati has given me this and this, and, she has taught her this and this, and she has taught her this and this. No. She was like, you know what, guys? I'm here to give you evidence. Evidence. I've been in this program for the past 3 months, for the past 3 months, but let me tell you what I've been able to do in those 3 months. Guys, she mentioned one thing after another, one thing after another. And she like, the doors that have been opened, the networks that she has been able to get into. You know, someone looking at you and you're posting content, you're creating content, and you sound informed and you're confident about what you are doing because you're in this training and you decided to be confident, and all of a sudden someone invites her for a paid, for a fully paid course in financial literacy with Bank of Uganda. And she was told there were only 2 places, and one was given to you and one was given to another person that is actually a prominent person in the industry when it comes to financial literacy. And so they're like, we've been watching your content, and guess what? She had just started like 1 week ago. And so she got into the program. Before you know it, there was another American program. Someone invites her and tells her that, you know what, I saw your content and you were so serious about this, and you seem to be helping so many people, and we are calling into this program, fully funded. And she goes into that program, and someone calls her, you know what, we're this network of people, and this is what we do, but we would love you to be our administrator. Come in and meet. And she was like, the person that she was watching on TV and person that she was, watching from a distance, now is the person that has invited her into his office to sit down and be able to talk about how she can take on the administration role, how she can do A, B, C, and D. And so, like, she was like, my goodness, like, what is this? Ever since she ended the program, even as I speak right now, she's not in the country. She's in Qatar and Doha. And after Doha, she's going to China. And she's saying, I'm benchmarking businesses. And you didn't just graduate me as a business coach. I must be able to provide value to everyone that is going to come. Now, do you see what I am saying? When you take inventory of your life and discover that you are not where you are supposed to be, and you do not sugarcoat, and you write the real state of where you are, faith, finances, where skills, and you're like, you know what, I am lacking in this area. And you're like, you know what, who can best support me in this area? And you find a person to best support, and then you don't just get into the support system and just fold your hands, and you actually do something about it. The doors that will open. There's so many things that she mentioned. Yeah, she's been invited to actually be a mentor into other programs, and she's saying, I have not done this for a long time, guys. I've only been creating content for the past 2 months, but I am so serious with my content. I've put the best foot forward. I told her, if you carry yourself with seriousness, other people are going to carry yourself seriously. To take you serious. How you want to be treated is how you should be able to portray yourself out there. This does not need money. Content creation does not need money. What you need is the experience, and you've been doing this whatever business for some years now. Now, just get that experience and make sure that you represent yourself well, speak to their pain points, know where they're coming from, have your target audience, know what the pains that they're going through, speak to their pains, and make sure. And the other girl that she was, I call her girl because they are young. Yeah, they are young, but they are passionate about life. So for her, when I said, you know what, guys, okay, content creation, done, check. They started on content creation. Then I told her, you know what, now we are getting into community building. And so she was like, you know what, I'm going to create a community. And one day she posted on TikTok about her life story. Because I told her, now you must be able to infuse your personality, your stories into what she infused her personal story. And she said, guys, if you were not born in a rich family, like me, we can actually fight to make sure that rich families come out of us. And so she was like, if you are like me, I want you to comment this word. I want you to join my community. I want us to grow together. I want us to start those businesses. Guess what? Within one day, she had more than 500 people contact her. So now she started a free community According to our dialogue, she was supposed to start a free community that would create a funnel into her paid program. So now she has a free community and she's like, coach, now I have to tell others, you will come in the next batch. I have to send others, because the video, whenever people watch the videos, even after a month, they were getting into the program. Now they get into the free program. The free program, she gave them a month worth of free content and helping them to set themselves up. And then she got them into her paid program. I was like, okay, if you want to continue with me after this month, then you're going to pay this much money to be able to continue with me for a full year or for 6 months. And so she got so many people into her program. But where did that start? They had to take inventory about where they were, and they knew that is not where they wanted to be. By graduation, she had completed her tuition for mentorship, because she kept paying and paying and paying in phases. But she knew what she wanted. The door had been opened, and she stepped into that door unapologetically. She was unstoppable. But it started with one step. And that is why I'm saying, why we're talking about this is own your starting. Own your starting. What is it that you want to start? What journey do you want to start? What dreams? So if she envisioned herself speaking on global platforms, if she envisioned she's being invited left, right, and center. I mean, if I start giving some of these stories, some of you will be like, but. There is no but. These are real people that I am talking about, real people that I am talking about. All right? And you are a real person that can start somewhere. Own your starting. One of the ladies came and she was like, you know what? I really feel, I've been in the work arena, in the workforce, but I feel the need to transition. Some of you, I'm talking to you, and you are in a transition period where you have outgrown where you were, and you need to be able to create something totally different or step into something that is totally different. That can be job-wise, that you have outgrown the level where you are, and you need to aim for that promotion. And what you need is to be able to create, to just have the communication skills, public speaking skills, building a personal brand. Yes, in the professional setting, building a personal brand where you're not just coming in to say, oh, Bahati mentor me to be a coach or to be that could be for other people. But it's possible that what you're looking at is you want to be able to be promoted, but you lack the communication skills, the effective communication skills, the public speaking, the personal branding. These days, personal branding is so crucial for your growth, even in career. You need to be able to stand for something, and people have to know you for something. So if you are that kind of person and you feel it with every fiber of your being that you have outgrown a certain space in your career and you need to aim for better, there are certain skills that you need to be able to get. And that is taking inventory and not just saying, you know what, I feel weird, I feel like I'm not motivated, I feel I am not. No, investigate. Why don't you feel motivated? Why don't you, that job made you happy at some point. You were so enthusiastic. When you got that role, you were so happy. What sucked happiness out of it? And I'm not just talking about toxicity, but sometimes you just outgrown it and you need to go step into another role. But how do you step into another role? You need to learn leadership. You need to be equipped with the skill of leadership, with effective communication, with you building your personal brand. You need to be able to do that. So this particular lady, Felicia, she comes and she's in transition. And I give her the same blueprint. And after giving her the blueprint, she told me about her story. And, we went into book writing. We went into positioning herself. We went into building her personal brand. We went into content creation. And all of a sudden, sometimes we say all of a sudden, but sometimes it's not all of a sudden. There is effort that has been put into something. There is a skill that has been acquired, and that skill opens doors. I think she has spoken nearly at every Rotary place, Rotary place in Kampala and outside of Kampala. And she's being invited at her children's schools to speak to different classes. And she's writing a book about it. She's creating content and she's so serious about it. And she's not backing down. Even when she had to go through certain things in her life that looked like they would delay her or they would curtail her growth. And I looked at her and I prayed for her. I take it personal, by the way. I pray for my mentees. And so I pray that God give her the zeal to not stop, even when she has gone through this, even when she's going through this hurdle. And let me tell you, she did not stop. She continued growing. And every time she sends me messages, she sends me the requests, she sends me the artwork where she has been invited to speak. She sends me where she has been invited to speak and she's charging them this amount of money. And I'm like, God, when someone decides to grow, when someone decides to walk the path towards their dreams, it's actually possible. It's actually possible. I don't know why so many people remain stuck. I don't know why so many people choose to remain stagnant. And yet it is painful. And yet that's not what they want. Can you decide that that is not what you want? And you flip the page and do something totally different. And this is where we are. Identify the single biggest leak in your life right now. Identify the biggest leak in your life. The moment you identify it, then you know what exactly you are dealing with. If self-sabotaging, if procrastination, if lacking ambition, it's something that is actually derailing you, it is delaying you. The moment you point it out, if you have relationships that are not building you, they are just leakages. Yes. Some of us, we are holding on to things that we should have let go long time ago. Relationships, if your relationships is the biggest leakage you have in your life, then that means it's high time. You just need to let it go. A relationship, okay? If it's a marriage, then you need to reposition it. You need to realign it. But you need, at the end of the day, we have to agree that you have to do something. You cannot just be there. You cannot just sit and look. You have to do something. And that is why we said, own your starting point. Someone must not own it. You can't be the one that is waiting. Other people, and let me tell you, when other people look at us, they know exactly where we are. Sometimes even when we lie, they will know. One thing will something will happen and all of a sudden they'll be like, I thought different, but it seems like so-and-so is actually gnashing. It seems so-and-so is suffering. It seems so-and-so is not actually well. Your body posture, sometimes it's the words that you speak. Let me tell you, how you speak when you're on your growth trajectory and how you speak when you're still in the pit are totally different. When you're in the pit and you want to pretend that things are good, you will say something and everyone will know that, by the way, there's something totally wrong here. Okay, so identify the biggest leak in your life right now. And you have to be very honest and say, I am honest with myself and aligned with God's truth. Because the truth is going to be your launch pad. The truth is going to be your launch pad. And I want you to hear me well. We're talking about owning your starting point. The truth is going to set you free. If the truth is, I am not in a good place right now. If that is, you have to be honest with yourself and say, I'm not in a good place right now. It can be your health and say, I'm just not in a good place right now. I think there are certain things that need to change about me. When your health starts affecting your focus, it starts affecting your ambition, it starts affecting, yes, your health can affect things around you. Whenever you're carrying unnecessary weight, yes, and I know you know this. You don't even need to hate me about it. You know it. You've been eating poorly. You've been eating bad, and now you're at a place where your body is craving for more bad food, more junk food, and all of a sudden you're giving it to it, and you're giving yourself excuse, and you're saying, I don't feel like doing anything right now. I don't feel like doing anything about my weight right now. I don't feel like doing anything about my health right now. And yet, we contradict ourselves because we don't want to die. We don't want to be on wheelchairs. We don't want, but that is where you're headed. If you don't do something about it, if you don't catch yourself in the moment and say, enough is enough, you have to do something about it. So that is where you really have to be honest, very honest with yourself, and say, you know what, this is not helping. This is not helping. If I go on like this, I'm going to get sick. If I go on like this, I'm going to become diabetic. If I go on like this, I'm going to get high blood pressure. If I go on like this, and I don't think that is what I want, can I be able to gather myself and own my starting point? There has to be a starting point to everything. To your weight loss journey, yes, there has to be a starting point. To you changing, when they tell you, oh, you're pre-diabetic, that is when so many people, by the way, some people are told they are pre-diabetic, and guess what? They fail to stop themselves. We are so indisciplined, sometimes so indisciplined, that as simple thing as they've told you stop taking Coca-Cola, and you just stop taking soda. I'm not saying that, you should stop. But if it's your health is on the line, then there are certain things that you have. They tell you that, you know what, you can't consume these kinds of carbs. Put them on a hold. Can you go protein-based? Can you go mostly vegetable? Can you divide your plate into 4 things and make sure that actually you have, proper nutrients that you need for your body? But all of a sudden, no, you're not in for that. You're just going to eat anything that is in front of you because you don't have discipline. Own your starting. And some of us cannot start, okay, or we cannot even go anywhere. That is why some of us start and stop, and your body is even exhausted from starting and stopping. Why can't you go on? It's because you lack discipline. Full stop. You lack discipline. This journey that you are starting, the journey of becoming your best version, the journey of becoming who God created you to be, the journey of becoming who you admire and what you long for, and the dream you, is a journey that has so many sacrifices, So when you say, I can't be everywhere doing everything, yes, you can't be everywhere doing everything. You can't be the one that is everywhere. They invite you, you are going everywhere. And so you have no personal time to do anything or even to work on anything. Woe unto you. Woe unto you. What does the Bible say? That poverty will pounce on you like a vagabond. It will pounce on you like a vagabond. And it says that be like ants. They don't have a governor. They don't have a ruler. But they keep food for the winter. They know that winter is coming and we will not be able to gather food. So as we gather food in summer, yes, we are going to eat some food, but we are going to keep some food because winter is coming and it's going to be a long time, and we need to be able to still be fed and to still be alive. Some of us, the ants, are more disciplined than we are. The ants, the smallest. Well, what kind of brain does an ant have? And if an ant can be better than a human brain, then there is clearly a problem. And I hope you see the problem together with me. You are where you are because you have decided. It is a decision to not do anything. It is a decision to not look for a job. It is a decision to not invest. It is a decision to not look, whatever it is a decision. So you just decided that for me, I just want to die poor. For me, I just want to die broke. For me, I just want to. Is that what you want? If your heart is contradicting, with what you are doing, I need you to be able to align yourself to what you are doing, okay? So share one hard truth with a trusted accountability partner. And this is what we do in 100 Days of Becoming. So if you need to join us, send me a message. You are still on the promo price. Yes, I gave you an offer. If you're watching this on TV or on YouTube, I gave you an offer. What you do is you write 100 days of becoming, 100 days of becoming, and I will know exactly what to send you. But you need to be kept accountable. You need a system that reminds you that you are not where you want to be. Be honest with yourself. Do something do what you need to do today so that you will be where you want to be tomorrow. That does not take rocket science. No, it doesn't. That does not take anyone giving you lots of money, millions of dollars. No, it doesn't. That takes one thing, you deciding that enough is enough. I want a different kind of life. I want a different kind of health. I want a difference in my finances. I want a difference in my family. I want a difference in my health. I want a difference, in my faith walk, in my relationship with God. I want to see a difference. And then I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, I hope that you can be able to decide and make that mark, whatever it takes. You're not going to sit and fold your arms, but you're going to move and start your journey. I love you, and I pray that the grace of the Lord will cover you and that the grace of the Lord will help you as you take this journey of becoming, to own your starting point and not to sugarcoat anything.